Hi, I'm Mark Toole with 8020service.com. Today's customer service video question of the day is a question from Quora. Question is, what would you do to retain customers at your business? Well, it's not what would I do, it's what do I do, what have I done, what do I help businesses do? But this is a good question, and it's something that a lot of people don't really think about. Or when they do, they think about it in the wrong way. So basically, a lot of people will think, oh, I need to retain customers. So first of all, a customer buys a thing, then something happens, maybe or not, and you want to retain the customer. A lot of businesses will start thinking about this, in my opinion, when it's too late. When the customer's already thinking about canceling, asking to cancel, wanting to cancel, no longer interested in the product if it's not a recurring thing, and then you think, how can I get this guy back? I want to get his attention. Hey, come buy another thing. Too late. You don't want to have to get his attention again. You want to keep his attention the whole time. You want to build the thing in a way where retaining customers is as close to automatic as it can be. Now, yes, people can always cancel, people can always leave, people can always change their mind, they can always not like your product, whatever, but for the most part, you retain customers by making customer retention automatic. What are some ways to do this? Well, we'll talk about that. First of all, obvious one, a little background for those who aren't familiar. My experience, my business, whatever you want to call it, generally I'm working with businesses in the online space selling informational products, sometimes physical things as well, books and stuff. When I was working with Altiture's business before he sold it, we had some physical books and stuff that we would send out. But for the most part, information, digital products, services, newsletters, subscriptions, that sort of thing. And that's point number one. You can sell an individual thing, a book, an ebook, a course, a video, whatever. But how do you retain customers on a thing like that? The only possible way is to sell them another thing. So you retain customers automatically by creating products, creating services that operate on a subscription model. So, for example, I can sell you an ebook or something, and spoiler alert, I'm putting one together. It'll be launched soon. Get on the email list, 8020service.com, to be notified about that. But I can put that out and I can sell that to you, and I will. But to make customer retention a thing, it would be smart, and I don't have this created yet, it would be smart to have some sort of a recurring subscription model to go with this. For example, with Altucher, when we were there, it was a subscription. We had a yearly subscription to an investing entrepreneurial type newsletter. I don't know if it's really still around in that format anymore or not, but we had that subscription, annual subscription, cheap subscription, front-end product for those of us in the business who know that term. But retention was a bit of an issue. The yearly renewal would come up and people would freak out. I didn't authorize this. I don't want to pay this. Why'd you charge me $79? All this other crap. Of course, they did authorize it. Of course, we did tell them about it, but a year gives them a lot of time to forget. So we were doing one thing right. We had a subscription model, but improving on my answer, to improve upon that, switching it to a monthly subscription or adding some sort of a monthly subscription makes a big difference. That's what we did. We had what we called premium videos there that were, I think, $10 a month or something, and people would pay every month to get these videos delivered to them. That product is also no longer around, but it worked while we were running it there. So that's the thing. Have subscriptions at all, period. Shorter subscription terms, which prevents that whole I forgot about this, even if they don't forget about the product itself, they forget about paying for it. So having them pay lesser amounts more often can, again, not always, but can help with this, because they're used to seeing that charge every month hit their account and say, yes, this is the thing that I'm paying for. It also motivates them to, getting to my next point, to retain customers. It gets them to stay engaged with the thing, to continue using it. If you see that you're paying for a thing, you remember it. You don't forget about it. You don't go, oh yeah, I bought that thing a year ago, whatever. You're paying for it every month. You're either going to cancel it if you don't use it at all, or you're going to say, oh shit, I should probably use that. People who use a thing, who interact with it, who engage with it, who presumably gain some sort of benefit from it, because you're not going to get a benefit from a thing if you don't use it. People who actually use a thing are a hell of a lot more likely to retain that thing. Think about, I mean, we'll go with a stupid, simple example, the electrical service at your home. You use the electricity. You're using it right now. If you're home, I mean, maybe you're on a battery or something, but where'd you charge that? You use electricity. You use it every day. You're going to keep paying for it because you would miss it if you didn't have it. That was a silly example, but we'll go a little more realistic and say internet, for example, or those of you who have a paid TV subscription or Netflix. You're going to continue paying for that. They're going to retain you as a customer because you use that thing regularly. You understand that you're paying for it, and you appreciate the value that it delivers for that money. You're not... A lot of these businesses, especially in the online newsletter space, will try to do these annual subscriptions, and I'm not going to name any names here, but some very big players in the space seem to have a strategy of sell somebody an annual subscription, barely mention the fact that it's a subscription in the fine print somewhere, send them a couple of free bonuses when they sign up, like a book or a flashlight or some other bullshit, and tell them, oh, you sign up at this super cheap deal, and then put way down in the fine print, in 1 year this will renew at 5 times the cost, so you don't miss out. Great, you agree to this. And then they're surprised a year later when they get complaints, when they get people demanding refunds, when they get people filing credit card disputes. Maybe they're not surprised, but they don't seem to care because they think that, and so far I'll admit they've been mostly correct, a lot of these businesses. I feel like this is going to change, but they don't really care. They want that initial sales spike. They make their profits there. Anybody who sticks around, fine, great. We got extra money coming in, it's a bonus, but they don't expect anybody to pay, and they assume they're going to be eating costs of all the people who get pissed off, all the people who file disputes, that sort of thing, who they piss them off, they're not going to be customers anymore. They're not going to buy another thing. Maybe they think they are, and they're really dumb, and they'll just fall, oh, no, free flashlight, and then they'll get it, oh, how do you have this flashlight? And some people will, but targeting stupid people and hiding things in fine print and hoping they won't notice or will forget, not the best business strategy if you want customer retention. It can work as a quick cash grab up front, and in unprecedented economic good times as we've had and may continue to have, it's obviously not going to go on forever, that can work because there's so much money out there, there's so much cheap money that people can do that. Customers can even buy things, not worry about it, not care, oh, I'll just put it on the credit card. There's probably people with subscriptions on their credit card that comes out every year, every 6 months, every month, whatever, that they haven't used the thing in years, they don't know what it is, they don't remember it, they just never look at the statement, and the amount's small enough that it keeps getting paid for, even though they don't even know what the damn thing is anymore. Some people watching this video may have subscriptions like that. Side note, if you have subscriptions like that and you decide you want to get rid of them, realize this. Even if the business you bought them from had sort of shady practices, hid it in the fine print or whatever, they almost certainly did tell you about it. You almost certainly did agree to it, whether you remember it or not. So take a breath, realize this is your mistake. If you want to cancel it, contact the business, tell them to cancel it. You don't need to file a credit card dispute. You don't need to contact a lawyer. I've seen that happen. Or a member of Congress. Again, I've seen that happen, to cancel a $79 annual thing. Seen it happen. Just contact the business. They'll cancel it. They'll probably put you through a customer service hell because businesses I work with, good customer service businesses, don't do shit like that. But it'll be canceled. So, again, those are some basics. I guess those are actually a little bit more advanced suggestions, subscriptions, more frequent subscriptions, keep engagement up. Basics? You want real basics? How do you retain customers to your business? Well, you do simple things. First of all, you make sure that the copy, the advertising, the marketing, everything you use to sell your product matches your product. I'm not saying don't use persuasive techniques or copywriting language or any of that. There's absolutely a place for all of those things. They're great. They're highly effective. I recommend them. I use them myself. Just make sure that your copy isn't promising a thing that your product doesn't deliver. I've seen that. People have put things out like, we have this free report of how to double your income, and the people buy the thing and there's no such report. And yeah, they're upset about that, obviously. So make sure the product matches the copy, number one. Make sure that the product is actually good. If you have great copy selling a shit product, people are going to realize it's shit when they buy it. They may not cancel right away, especially if you don't offer refunds or something like that, but they certainly aren't going to renew the thing if it doesn't provide benefits and value to them. Here's the thing, I'm going to get into this very briefly because this is something I write about a lot in my upcoming guide that I'm going to be coming out. Again, 8020service.com, get on the email list to be notified about that. But one thing that a lot of people don't realize about value, about product benefits, about all this stuff, they think that it's an objective, defined thing, product quality. And to some extent it is, especially with a physical product. If I buy a coffee mug and it crumbles into pieces when I put it in the dishwasher, it's a low quality coffee mug. But beyond that, we'll use the coffee mug example. It says Banff, Canada. Guess where I got it? That's fading off a little bit. But what makes this coffee mug better than other coffee mugs? Well, it's got a cool pattern on it. It's got a nice shape. Maybe it looks like it's handmade. I'm sure it's just made in China somewhere. But it's a nice mug. Coffee doesn't taste any better coming out of it, but it is good coffee. So what makes this coffee mug better than other coffee mugs? My feelings that it's better. I like the looks of it. I like the shape of it. I like various things about it. It may or may not be objectively better than any other coffee mug that was on the shelf in that store, but to me, it's better, and that's what makes it better. So perception is not a replacement for reality, but perception can be as important, at least, as the reality of your product's quality. Again, this is something I talk a lot about in my upcoming guide, so get on the email list to be notified about that. I'm going to wrap this video up. It's getting a bit long. Like I've said before, I do these videos every weekday on a customer service topic or question. I've been doing them on Quora for a while, but I've started posting them on YouTube as well. Somebody deleted my last video for a spam complaint because I put a link to YouTube. So I'm not going to do that, but the channel's called 8020 Service on YouTube. You can find it there if you want. For now, it's the same videos as here, but it is going to switch up. Those of you watching on YouTube, if you want to find me on Quora, I'm on Quora. What is my username there? Let's see. If you want to find me there, I think it's just my name, Mark Toole, Toole. Find me there if you want. I also write regularly on business and customer service topics on Quora and on the website, again, 8020service.com, like the 80/20 principle. And so, you want to keep seeing these videos, upvote, thumbs up, follow me, Quora, follow me, YouTube. You'll be notified when these comes out. You won't miss anything. And like I said, every weekday I do one of these videos. Today's Friday. I'll be back Monday with another video. And that's all for today.